The gentleman from Fairfax, Mr. Hugo.
Mr. Speaker, I rise for a point of personal privilege.
The gentleman has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, this morning I joined you, the Majority Leader, our Appropriations Chairman, and many of my other colleagues to announce the House GOP jobs agenda. I believe that no one is more committed to improving Virginia's economy than this House of Delegates and the House Republican Caucus. In appropriations over the last number of years, we've made investments for economic development. In Finance Committee, we have defeated 26 separate tax hikes that would have cost businesses over $30.2 billion. Commerce, HWI, and general laws have fought to maintain our pro-business climate by keeping regulations in check. Education, we have led the way on higher ed investments and reforms. Every committee of this House of Delegates has contributed as we try to maintain our pro-business environment. But, ladies and gentlemen, the status quo isn't good enough anymore. While Governor McAuliffe likes to tout that Virginia's economy is booming, it's really just not the case. In 2014, our economy registered 0% GDP growth. That ranked Virginia 48th in the nation. Virginia has fallen in our CNBC rating, business rating, to 12th. I appreciate the governor's passion. Nobody outdoes him in passion. And I know he's traveled to a lot of places to make a lot of announcements. But as in Appomattox, we saw headlines do not make paychecks. Strengthening our economy and creating business is the top priority of the House of Delegates this year. House Republicans are committed to an agenda that fosters job creation through a pro-business climate, encourages and incentivizes long-term economic growth, and enacts regulatory reform to protect especially the small businesses from job-killing regulations. We're going to do this with a pro-business environment. Supporting our small businesses, it's just critical to economic recovery of the Commonwealth. We should make it easier for businesses to operate, not harder. We can do this by a number of things. One, we are going to enshrine in our right to work law in the Constitution and protect franchise owners from forced unionization. Delegate Dickey Bell and Delegate Chris Head have taken the lead on this. Delegate Kathy Byron has introduced legislation to help workers get STEM skills, coordinating the workforce training programs. And we also want to encourage and incentivize growth. Tomorrow in Appropriations Committee, you'll see the Majority Leader establishing Go Virginia, a regional economic development initiative to bring all the players in the community to the table, to make sure that we're recruiting new jobs. Tomorrow, we'll also be talking about encouraging investments in the R&D initiatives so that our high-tech industry can thrive and continue to grow. And Delegate Miyares is going to be creating, for our new citizens, creating an economic opportunity for Virginians and aspiring diverse communities. Finally, and maybe quite as important as anything, we're going to make sure we put a check on the regulatory process. Delegates Head, Yancey, and Ranson will be promoting greater transparency in the regulatory process, and Yancey will also be easing burdens on occupational license. Friends, we have a bold agenda, and I want to thank all my colleagues on both sides of the aisle for their work on this. And we need our Democratic colleagues to help us do this. But I want to make it specifically clear today, like we did in the press conference this morning. The number one agenda of the House Republican Caucus in 2016 is jobs. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.